epic story about the invasion of Rome in Britain, flush with druids, magic, bloody war, and badass women. Just my kind of show. The preface to the story is that Julius Caesar attempted an invasion in 55 BC, but the druids met him on the shores of Britannia and sent them back into the sea. 90 years later, in 43 AD, the Romans returned, led by General Aulus Plautius. The Britons are at war among themselves, and the Romans try to use this to gain the advantage. Season 2 begins on Epix on October 4th, and you can also rewatch Season 1 on Amazon Prime. With that in mind, I wanted to give a quick breakdown on 5 characters you need to know before Season 2 starts. Varin is the leader of the Druids. He is very old and powerful, and his reverence gives him the ability to command kings. He acts as the mouth of the gods. Varin was born 10,000 years ago and is called the Second Man. He lived with the first man, his brother Harka, in the Tree of Knowledge. One day Varin came home and found Harka hanging from the tree by a rope. The rope was a serpent sent by the earth demon Laka. The serpent's name was Puika. Laka and Puika are 2 of the 3 demon kings. The Druids believe that Rome is Laka, and the Romans are his foot soldiers. As Rome spreads, Laka becomes a greater demon. Aulus Plautius, the Roman general, comes to Varin, who takes him to the underworld to seek his dead. Varin has the sight. He knows sorcery, necromancy, sex magic, and can commune with the gods. Varin gives prophecies because of his close relationship with the gods, and the most important prophecy he gives is tattooed on the neck of Queen Kara. Hope is the small daughter of a blind father. Divis is a druid. He uses a lot of nature magic, divination, and hypnotism. He is one with nature and is pretty gross and stinky, but it has a purpose. Divis was once a student of Varin, but he betrayed him, and the Druids cast him out. He's not just any outcast. He is the outcast. He was possessed by the demon Puika. Puika has been sleeping for a year within him, but the rumblings and blood of Rome will wake him up soon enough. When Divis learns Varin took Aulus into the underworld, he risks going there to find out what he saw. In the underworld, Divis is more vulnerable to waking Puika and being possessed, which is exactly what happened, but not before finding out Laka's greatest enemy is the small girl in the Druid's prophecy. Interestingly, he knows this girl. He rescued her from the Romans when they attacked her village. The girl has no name. Well, kind of. It's really Kate, but we'll get into that. But Divis knows he must be her protector if he can send Puika back to the underworld before he becomes a tool of Laka. Aulus Plautius is a ruthless Roman general who comes to Britannia to complete what Caesar could not. He's fascinated by the idea that the Druids frightened the Romans back into the sea. The Druids used necromancy to speak to him through his great-grandfather, who died fighting on those shores for Caesar. They warn him to go back to Rome and make a sacrifice of a sacred stag to Pluto. Aulus is not a man to be intimidated by the gods. He goes to the Druids, who escort him to the underworld. He sees a vision of a small girl atop a pile of dead Romans holding their banner in victory, and later learns of the Druids' prophecy. Aulus became a vessel for Laka the moment he stepped on the shores of Britannia. He says, "I am Rome, and where I walk is Rome." He has taken the form of the earth demon Laka. Laka is a malevolent spirit, a bloodthirsty liar. He takes advantage of the queens, pitting them against each other and feeding on their hate. He becomes obsessed with the prophecy, exhausting resources and men on the small girl with the blind father. Queen Kara of the Canti lost her mother when her father, King Pellinore, flayed her alive. The Druids came to him and told him that his wife's great-grandfather was Roman, and therefore she was a demon. This also makes Queen Kara part demon, but the Druids actually crowned her because they believed her demon blood makes her a combatant against Laka as one of his daughters. But Aulus defeats her, cutting out her beating heart and throwing it on his burning brazier. Aulus is a dark and sinister character who really shows his true colors in the last episode. He can only get darker in season 2. Kate is a young girl who we meet as she is going through her rite of passage into womanhood. She lives in a small village called Lockerley Cross with her sister Isleen and her father. Part of the rite of passage is choosing a new name and a vow of silence for a period of time. If the vow is broken, she will disappear forever. Isleen tricks her into speaking, and for this they paid the ultimate price. At the solstice, Roman invaders attack the ceremony before Kate can choose her new name, leaving her as the Betwixt. Isleen is killed and her father taken prisoner, and Kate narrowly escapes when she's rescued by Divis, a passing druid in the forest. Kate is determined to find her father, so she follows the Romans. She finds their camp, but her father has been blinded by a Roman captain. Kate helps him escape, and they hide in Crogdonan, the citadel of the Canti. When Divis sees Kate in the underworld as Locke's greatest enemy, he knows he must protect her, but in the underworld he wakes Puika up. Puika tries to use necromancy on Isleen to attack Kate, but Kate sends the demon back to the underworld when she resists his allure. Divis becomes her sworn protector. Aulus hires 3 mercenaries to seek out Kate and her blind father, similarly to the prophecy which says Locke will send 3 hellhounds after them. Hela, the Irish raven, finds Kate and sells her to the Druids rather than to the Romans, who bless her as the chosen one. I noticed that just before Hela, who identifies herself as Death, finds Kate in the forest, Divis is praying in an ancient language. He says, Caredwin, no, I made a mistake. Then Hela, the embodiment of death, attacks him. I think Kate may be connected to Caredwin, the great goddess, and Divis figured it out in that moment. This was a symbolic connection given, if you're obsessively overanalyzing ancient languages like me. Amina is the wife of Prince Phelan, son of King Pellinore. She also has a second husband, Lyndon the Gaul, which was a political marriage arranged by the Druids. Amina is not a nice person. She treats Phelan like a sister-loving cuckold and Lyndon like a fuckboy. And, ironically, both of the men are in love with Cara. She is a rat to the king and willing to throw anyone under the bus. After King Pellinore's death, the Druids named Cara as queen rather than Phelan, who was next in line. Phelan leaves with Anya, a Regni prisoner and niece to the enemy queen, and Amina is left to fend for herself. She decides to seek the Druids' advice, but she was not ready for what they required. Lyndon finds her in a weird druidic sex fest to honor the gods, and he abandons her as well to serve Queen Cara, though he's also secretly serving Queen Antidia of the Regni. Amina starts using magic in secret, invoking Nehelenia, praying for a demon to be sent to her to kill Cara, who has destroyed her life. When Aulus Plautius comes to Crogdonan to entreat with Cara, Amina offers herself to him, believing he is her demon. She says she will do anything for him. Aulus betrays both sides, and when Cara surrenders, the Romans turn on the Regni, burning their siege camp and killing Prince Gildas, then turning on Queen Cara and the Canti as well. Once the siege is over, Prince Phelan is gone, Queen Cara of the Canti is dead, and Queen Antidia of the Regni is imprisoned, which leaves Amina as the last royal. Her cooperation and ruthlessness is a match only to Aulus, and he crowns her Queen Amina of the Canti. And those are 5 characters you must know before Season 2 starts. Season 1 set the bar pretty high with deep exploration of the gods, epic battle scenes, psychedelia-inspired visions, and exciting warring factions. This is a very different story, but familiar all the same. There are certainly Arthurian overtones to the story, but what's a tale of early England without those aspects to embellish on? If you enjoy historical fantasy, this is definitely the show for you. Season 2 starts on Epix this Sunday, October 4th, and you can rewatch Season 1 now on Epix or Amazon Prime. I hope you all enjoyed this quick recap of Britannia. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to Fey Fire and ring that notification bell to join the Fey Underground. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.